Hey, welcome back. Welcome to the final event for the Plot Like a Novelist 5-Day Challenge. Today we are doing an encore celebration of last night's masterclass. Get your story straight. So tonight we're going to celebrate with some cupcakes and some aha moments that you guys have had throughout the week. And I'm going to share that masterclass in case some of you weren't able to attend. You can be here tonight, hopefully. So welcome as you make your way in. Say hello in the comments. Let me know that you are here. And let's see. Yeah, we'll give that little reminder about the StreamYard link. Hopefully y'all have already done that. So let me know you're here watching. Say hello. Trying to find, aha, there, wait, that's not it. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So, just in case, can you put them out there or something? I don't know what I'm going to do about my dogs. He is being such a barker. But yeah, if you want to just share your novel, your genre, the title, anything you want to share, just to like connect with others, right? So that that's pretty exciting to talk about your novel. I think it is anyways. Let's see. And I'm just going to go ahead and go to the comments. All right, please. I see 4 people watching. Don't know who you are or where you are. But say hello. Say hello. Don't be shy. Okay. Now I'm just going to go ahead and take that little message off. And I do have, oops, it just did it again. That's okay. Comments, there we go. Emma is here. She's writing science fiction, fantasy, sci-fi fantasy for the first half, romance for the second. Do you mean the first half of the challenge or the first half of a single novel? I don't know. Voyage of the Star Killer, Serena Corollas and Liam Giroux. All right, sounds fun. All right. Anyone else? Yeah, just go ahead and say hello. I'm going to go ahead and get our little thing going here. I learned a little trick so it doesn't do that whole telescoping thing. So yes, day 6. Today is day 6 of our 5-day challenge. And like I said, it's going to be a little bit of a celebration. So in the Facebook group, I said, what kind of cupcake are you going to bring? So go ahead in the chat. Let me know what kind of cupcake that you are going to bring as I get it pulled up so that I can see comments on my cell phone as per usual. I know somebody said they were going to bring some chocolate cupcakes with chocolate frosting. I myself am bringing, what I say, carrot cake cupcakes with vanilla buttercream frosting. So, all right. Now let's see. I can see Emily is here. Hello. You're cooking dinner while you watch, so you can't type too much. No worries. Glad you're here. Glad you can listen in. Lori, hello. Ghost Story, Residual Entity. My goodness, Residual Entity. That sounds like a movie that, who's the guy? The really big muscular guy. Sounds like a movie he would be in. like Terminator. This one sounds like that. Let's see. Yeah. Awesome. Welcome. Yeah. Let me know also in the chat if you guys attended the masterclass last night inside the Zoom. We gave out the Zoom link, the masterclass for that. So I'm curious just to see if we've got any repeat viewers or if y'all are all new and you didn't have a chance to join last night. I'd love to have you let me know that. So let's see what kind of wins and aha moments you guys have experienced. And now some are from this year, some are from previous years. I just keep collecting them. So Carolyn says that the challenge helped her better define her plot with more confidence. So Emma, you were on the masterclass last night. Great. And the sad thing about my cell phone with these comments, it doesn't stay up there. It just shows and then disappears. So that's kind of a bummer. But Lori says, so far in the challenge, I feel so much more excited about my book. I love that. So part of the challenge is to like get you excited about writing your story again. I've got a lot of these, so we're celebrating here for a minute. The way you use a marathon terminology for plotting is fun, and it's probably exactly what shifted my perspective just a bit, which is why ideas are flowing beyond the basic plot points. So Nancy said, I love this. Carrie says, it's helped me a lot. John said, I've gotten a lot out of this challenge and I really appreciate it. Deborah says, same. Delaney says, this will make my second time different project for the challenge. And I believe this one was from last year. So helpful in sorting through. So helpful in sorting through your plot when you find yourself stuck. Yes, that is kind of the point here. This is great, Dennis says. When you started the challenge at the end, the finish line, I immediately understood the importance. You can't get somewhere unless you know where you are going. So that is one reason we start at the end. Diane says, you're doing a fantastic job of making me think. Sarah says, it's what sets in motion the barrel towards the final showdown, the finish line. Writing it out really helps. Andy said, this exercise is really helping me tighten up the timeline and make some choices. Hello, Sally. Welcome, welcome. Stephanie said, this is just like the Plot Whisperer, but with running terms. Awesome. Emma says, great job. The 5 plot points for a pantser help me see the overarching story pull together. Kathy said, you are great at boiling it down. That she has a hard time setting up the scene. Okay. Glad to see y'all are chatting with each other, helping each other out. Tammy says, I think this process helped me clarify some loose ideas and work through some issues with my original plot points. Gives me a framework for my outline. Natalie says, a lot of the time he's reacting to what Neri is doing rather than taking action. I'm going to revisit that. So the questions that I ask like help you guys rethink things, want to go back and revisit things. That's part of the revision process. And we're going to talk some more about that revision process tonight. Linda says, thank you for doing these critiques. You've really helped me reorder things. Pam says, thanks. Can't wait to get more details in it and write it. Also, thanks for this free webinars. It has really helped me. Yvonne says, Abby and friends have found the location of the stolen pumpkins. Oh, sorry, I'm not going to read the whole thing. Just the blue highlighted part. Sorry. Going backwards like this is about... Can you shut the door for me, please? Going backwards like this is about to make my head explode, but has made me think through and condense the ideas. Jody says, so glad I could be here live today. It's definitely a plot point I have been stuck on. This even helped me nail the wall for the second book in the series, let alone this first one. So yeah, if you have multiple book ideas, then my hubby's going to work, y'all. If you have multiple book ideas, you can apply this to each one and get it for all of them, right? Melanie says, this even helped. Oh, I already read that. Sorry. I'm a little distracted. The dog is barking. A little. I love these videos. They really make you think about the plot in question and how it impacts the character and story. So Anzia said that this year. So now, the brainstorm like a boss. I'm just going to give another quick shout out. These worksheets that are available inside the course that I was giving away as prizes every day. Patricia Emberry won that one, Brainstorm Like a Boss. Think Like a Therapist, Lori Christopher Myers. She's here live watching. Congrats again. You got Think Like a Therapist to help you with character development a little bit. The Marathon Method Plot Diagram, Carolyn Keeling. She won that. That's prize number 3. We've got prize number 4 here, the Plotting Cheat Sheet, and Anzia Bach won that one. And last night we gave away prize number 5, and that was the plot arc summary of Harry Potter. And Mindy Solkin won that, and I don't know why my image is not pulling up properly, but whatever. And so tonight, I do want to let you know that the course, Plot Like a Novelist, is now open. So if you're interested in that, go check it out. Make sure you read through it and let me know. Then, something I didn't mention last night, but I definitely want to mention tonight. And I will remind you again, okay? But there is a fast action bonus. So if you sign up for the course, Plot Like a Novelist, tonight, okay, by midnight Eastern time, so it's 9 p.m. Pacific, you're going to get this fast action bonus. And it is called what I like to call my 3-step submission system. And there's 3 things that you can create, write, and send out when you're submitting to be published traditionally to editors and agents. And the first one is a query letter and a pitch. So the pitch is serious, like it's just 1 to 2 sentences inside of your query letter. And that helps, pique their interest. And then a synopsis is, if they ask for it, then you'll need to send a synopsis. You just have to read the directions on how they want submissions sent. And so if they need one, you'll have it ready to send. And then a marketing and promo plan. So this is what I have to create before I send stuff to my agent and before she'll send it to the editors. And most agents don't require this. Most editors don't require it. But she says that the editors she sends for all her clients, this marketing and promo plan to, the editors, that they really appreciate having it because it shows that you've thought through what's going to happen after the book is finished and published. Like, how are you going to help sell it, basically? And having this is going to help them. They'll just kind of believe in you a little bit more and might accept your book. Of course, they do look at the writing and the story more than anything else. So just a few more quick aha moments. If you have any additional aha moments, if you haven't shared it in the post inside the group, put your aha moments right now inside this video chat. So let me know that, okay? But I had a takeaway, and this was from a previous year, that originally there were 4 particular types of signups that any story would use. And one year I had another epiphany, my aha moment, that there's actually a 5th type of sign up. And that is, I'll just go ahead and tell you, it's right here, the main character being forced into a situation against their will. If there's not one of the other 4, it could be this one. Natalie said, the difference between the sign up and the gunshot is a point of clarity I really needed. And a lot of people do get hung up on those 2 plot points. Some people get stuck on the wall. Some people get stuck on the halfway point, Usually the finish line is the easiest, and that's another reason why we start at the end. Vicki said that I really need clarity on my finish line. See? So it doesn't matter which plot point. Everybody's different. Every story is different. And so they're all really important. Allie says, I've realized that I have a series of vignettes rather than enough of a through line for a book length work. So even that is some good insight to have before you continue to proceed in your endeavors. Christina said that I can do this. So she gained some confidence, and to look at it as a long haul, like a marathon, rather than a sprint, that the outline and the writing process both are marathons. Shoshana said that I love the direction and guidance. I know I'm a pantser, but with a little framework, I can see more progress. So another person said something just before I started that she's a pantser as well, and she was making some really good headway with it. Okay, so like I mentioned yesterday and all week long, the grand prize I'm going to be giving away tonight. Not right this second, but later tonight. So if you have friends that you've made in the challenge, other people, I'd love for you to just tag them in the comments. Just go ahead and find somebody, even if you don't know them. If you've seen their comments, just go ahead and tag them as a comment in this video and try and get some more people on here watching, okay? So we're going to be giving this away. One person is going to get a free seat to the Plot Like a Novelist course. That's the grand prize of the entire week. So stay tuned for that. Now we are finished with this particular celebration segment. So let me kind of remove that and see if I can. This is a brand new endeavor for me, y'all, that I added slides. Ooh, it works. I think it looks so good. Now the question is if I can. Oh, that is good. Okay, I've got to take just a quick little moment. I am loving this little feature here. Okay. Okay, this might be a little tricky, but I'm gonna figure it out. We're gonna make this work, y'all. So, like I said, this is an encore presentation. I'm gonna go a little faster and skip just a little bit of a few things, but it's basically the same content. But again, a free seat being given away. Please tag some people, and I can see the comments now, even here in StreamYard. So continue to comment there, and I'll be able to see it. I'm just going to actually turn my cell phone off. Okay. Thank you for bearing with me. Oh, but I can barely, I might have to turn this back on. Maybe it'll still be up. There it is. Okay, cool. I'll do it like that just so I can see better. Okay. So yeah, if you want to write a novel, let me see if this is really interesting, y'all. Thank you for bearing with me. If you want to write a novel, you're definitely in the right place. So that's what this is all about, is just strengthening your writing and your storytelling skills. And this, there's also a lag, so that's interesting to me as well. You know what? Will it bother anyone? I need to ask. I want to ask you guys, if I take off my little picture, will that bother anyone? I know a lot of times people like to see the speaker speaking along with the slides, and I'm just curious if that is going to bother someone if I take my image away. And I may bring it back from time to time, but I'm just gonna go. Okay, never mind. I guess I have to be on here because otherwise, otherwise you can't hear me, I guess. Yeah, it took away my sound when I did that, so it's all good. But yeah, this process that I teach with plotting, it is founded on proven story structures from centuries of storytelling, and so it's explained in a way that, you know, shows the relationship between. Thanks, Emma, for tagging some friends in the group. Hopefully they're turning up as actual tags in the actual Facebook. On StreamYard, it doesn't show that, so I'm fine with that. Totally awesome. But yeah, we're showing here the. Where am I? Oh, there we go. That helps a little. Okay. Yeah, marathon. Now, the goal here is to help you become a better storyteller, to increase your chances of publication with fewer rejections and fewer revisions. And some of you, like, as writers, we all face a bunch of challenges. And I'm just going to kind of walk you through what these challenges are. Like, not being able to finish your novel, not having enough time to finish it, not knowing how to revise, fear of rejection, feeling like you're not good enough, or just giving up altogether. Okay, these are some real challenges that writers face. But there's also a big opportunity as writers. And with that, the opportunities are that, and I can't, oh, I didn't hit it yet. So the first one, this is not big enough for me. I've got to figure something out. That works better. Okay. Finish your book, right? Opportunity number one, because these are things that are probably goals that you guys have, is to finish your book, maybe to land an agent, if not, at least to get an acceptance letter from an editor, and then see your published book in print, even if you don't publish traditionally. These are some opportunities, right? Some goals. Let me know, 1, 2, 3, or 4. You guys want some of these things? Hey, Ashley, glad you could make it. Continue to tag friends as you come in. Tag people in the challenge that you've seen, even if you don't know who they are and you never talk to them, just tag them and say, hey, the encore's happening right now. But let me know. So Emma says she wants to see her published book. Absolutely. Most of us do, I'm pretty sure. And many of us, like, you want to finish your book. So you can have all four goals simultaneously. Totally, totally fine. But because you this is because you really want to like share your message with the world. That is why we write, okay? Because we have a message to share with other people. Now, I'm just going to kind of quickly share with you the very first time that I went to a writing retreat. I had so much fun, and I may have to take this to my bedroom or some other room in the house just to kind of muffle that dog. I am. Oh! First, I'm going to try putting him outside. I so apologize. No diss me, right? Don't diss me on this. He's still going to be annoying, and I'll have to let him back in eventually. But y'all let me know. I'm curious. If y'all have dogs, put it in the chat. I want to know. If you have dogs, I got to see who here has a dog or multiple dogs, and just let me know that, right? And this, that's because my dog, he made me press buttons and everything. Yeah, go ahead, laugh, chuckle. It's all right. But Sally's got dogs. I know I'm not the only one. Deb has dogs, so you understand. Okay. So yeah, this retreat was so much fun. I didn't want to come home. I didn't want to leave. And I was at a time in my life when I absolutely hated my job. I'd only been there a year, but I was burned out already. Like, it was kind of stressful. Ashley's got 2 dogs. Emma, Scooby, a Pitty Husky mix. Oh, so the one I just put outside is a Pitty Lab mix. Okay. And Venus, cute. But yeah, I hated that job. And the next day, I put my hand on the doorknob Monday morning to take my kids to school, and I just burst into tears. I started crying. And I did not want to go back to work. And so in that moment, I decided that I was going to do anything and everything I could to like make that dream a reality. And so I wrote a lot. I attended conferences, workshops, retreats. I bought books. I researched. I continued and continued and continued, right? Even though I had a degree in creative writing. And then one day, like amidst all my research, just like something just clicked. And I had this huge epiphany. And that whole epiphany is the stages of writing a novel are perfectly aligned to the stages of running a marathon. And so I just quickly jotted it down. I mapped out the diagram to show this correlation. And it allowed me to finally figure out how to easily think about plot. And I ended up mapping out 2 novels in a single weekend. And so it was so amazing. I knew I had to share this with other people. And it's not just about the 5 main plot points. It's about the entire process of the full novel. And so I came up with this challenge to kind of introduce people to my way of thinking with like comparing a novel to a marathon. And my ultimate epiphany here is that creating a flexible plot outline is the fastest and easiest way to confidently write your novel without giving up your creativity, okay? So, let me get back to where I'm just constantly like going back and forth here, y'all. So, who here relates to my journey? Who here wants the writing dream bad? I know y'all want it. I know we're still talking about dogs. Oh, one of your story ideas came about because the cat wouldn't leave the keyboard alone. Ah, aliens. Okay. That actually makes me think of Dennis's, because so he's got some cats that are like alien sentience or whatever, something like that. Oh my. Okay. So my goal is to help you become a better storyteller by understanding plot better, okay? So what I'm going to share tonight is 5 mistakes that a lot of writers make. And once you understand these, you'll be able to move forward with more clarity and more confidence to like continue the whole plotting process. So mistake number 1 is believing that you're not a real writer unless you're published. And 81% of Americans feel that they have a novel inside of them. That's nearly 200 million people. And apparently me, my sister, we're one of those 200 million people. And one day she was working on something, and she's not really a writer. Like, she never thought of herself as a writer. This was like her first kind of writing piece. Well, she invited me to come over to her house one day to like look at her work and let me know what I thought about it. And this had been, I think, 10 years after I graduated college. And so we sat on our front porch and we're drinking some lemonade, hence the picture of the lemonade here. And I was like, girl, this is good, like really good. It got me so fired up that when I was done talking with her and everything, like I was like full on critique mode. And we were brainstorming. I gave her some more ideas and she's still working on it. It started out being a fictionalized memoir, and now she wants it to be a complete memoir. So she's like just telling the true, honest truth. Again, if you're making your way in, please say hello. Say hello in the chat. Let us know you're here. We're talking about dogs, the title of your books, and everything else. Well, when I got home that day, I pulled out all my old writings, and I was like, you know, I actually have some good stuff here, and I was pretty excited, you know, to like start working on my writing again. Okay. And I realized that over the past 10 years that I had subconsciously adopted the belief that I wasn't a real writer and that I wasn't good enough and that my ideas weren't important or worth pursuing. And I thought that I couldn't call myself a writer unless I was published. So even though, like, yeah, I write some stories, you know, but I wasn't like, yes, I'm a writer, you know, like be conviction about it, have some conviction about it. But this revelation that I didn't need to have a creative writing degree, I didn't need the approval of my professor, I didn't need to be published to be a writer. And so that year I declared to myself and everyone around me that I was a writer. I started a blog. I started writing 2 or 3 new stories. I connected with other writers. And I have not looked back since. Okay. So if you are a writer and you're going to like declare this, then go ahead, drop it in the chat. Let me know. Say, I am a writer. Just let me know this. Okay. And y'all are amazing. Y'all are amazing. So I'm just getting back to where I need to be, y'all. Okay. Oh. I just hope my dogs don't end up like, well, my daughter's here, so. So you're never going to amount to much. No one's ever going to want to read your books. You'll never be professionally published. Kills the creativity. That is true. Ashley, I am a writer. Amen, sister. Say it out loud and proud. Let's do it, girl. So you don't have to be published to call yourself a real writer. All you have to do is literally put pen to paper and write words, and you're a writer, okay? Same thing with running. Put on some running shoes, go out for a run, you're a runner. So Deb, amen, sister, I am a writer. Let's see everyone else. I am a writer. I want to see it. Let's hear it, y'all. So one of my students, John, he's in the group and he's chatted a little bit. He's like, I think he planned on coming to either last night's class or tonight. I'm not sure. But he wanted to write a memoir. And when he signed up for Plot Like a Novelist, not the 5-day challenge, I'm talking the full-blown course, he declared that he was a writer by doing that. And he was finally able to finish his memoir, all because he had that structured plot outline. So I want to know, are you ready to declare that you are a writer? I see Ashley and Deb are. Anyone else? Anyone else want to take the plunge and declare that you're a writer? So like seriously, put I am a writer in the comments and let me know, because your story does matter. There are people out here in the world who need to hear and read your story. So Sally writes fanfic stories on 2 archives. Yes, definitely. You're a writer. Amen. Okay, so mistake number 2. That's next. And the reality is, let me just see here. I have notes all kinds of different places. But if you're making this mistake, that I'm gonna say in just a minute, the thing is, you're probably wanting to know it all before you begin. That's the symptom. Okay, you might be stuck in research mode. Maybe you're blaming writer's block. Maybe you're suffering from comparison paralysis, or you just feel like you've stalled in your writing. Okay, don't let fear stop you in your tracks and keep you from writing. Okay, so I wonder if this will let me move this. Oh, maybe not, but this will. Okay, I can do that. Okay. Facebook user. I am a writer. So can't see your name. That's okay. Or maybe you could just type your name in there and I can say hello that way. If you click the link, the StreamYard link, maybe somebody else can drop it in the chat for us, and I can see who you are. But let me get to the next slide here, people. So mistake number 2 is not taking action because of fear. All right, not taking action because you're afraid that writing a novel will be too hard is gonna keep you stuck on the diving board. It's gonna keep you paralyzed and unable to move. It's important to actually start, no matter how hard or scary that it seems. So it's time to take the plunge, y'all. All right, so this is a story. I think that I can remember all the details. Like it's literally a part of my life. So a few months after I graduated college, I got this purple and white flyer in the mail from Team in Training, Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. If you have heard of Team in Training or have ever run a race with Team in Training, just type the word team in the chat. Let me know if you've heard of them. But it was an advertisement to like sign up for a marathon. Okay. And the longest distance of a race that I'd ever run was a 5K. And it was just like a year before. Okay. It was the Jingle Bell 5K at my college. And so I ran this race, got the t-shirt, and I was like, are you kidding me? There's no way I can run a marathon. What's the point, But the pictures and the locations on this flyer were so gorgeous that I was like, Anchorage, Alaska was one of them. And I did a double take because it shouldn't be specific to each live. Like once you do it, it should be good to go for a while. Thanks, Emma. But yeah, my brother, who had just died about 9 months prior to me receiving this flyer in the mail, my dog, I put him out there and he's barking, but whoo, he had just died, and he had worked on a fishing boat in Alaska. And we weren't super close, but I got it in my head that, like, you know what, maybe if I go to the Alaska race, then I can, like, reconnect with my brother, even though he was dead. So that's kind of what my thought process was. Well, I went to the informational meeting and I was scared out of my wits, but, I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. Okay, I'm just going to do this. And so, oh, this is interesting. I'm learning all kinds of stuff, y'all. But the first training run after I signed up was 4 miles, and it was a trail run like this. And it was hard. It was like the hardest run I had ever done. And I was like, 26 miles? Are you kidding me? I could barely do 4 miles. I was last. Every single training run we did together as a group, I was last. Every single one. But that's okay. I did it. So we get to the 6 months later, after all these training, and I trained up to like 18 miles, maybe a 20 miler. But I get here and I'm still scared, right? I'm still scared. It's like I trained, I'm ready for this, but yet I was still scared. Like, am I going to fall? Am I going to sprain my ankle, which I did this year? Am I going to, the biggest fear of all is, am I going to finish the race? And then probably a small fear was like, hey, is this going to make a difference, with reconnecting with my brother or like, whatever. So the gun goes off, and here I am, like, looking at all the people in front of me and all the people behind me, and it's like this sea of purple. And suddenly I just had like this rush of adrenaline, and I'm like, "Whoo, I'm doing this, y'all." And even though I was scared, I did it. You know, things thinned out by mile 7, and I'm still smiling here. Oh, here's a side note. I have to tell you, this is very important. Um, this isn't the actual from the actual race, but there's a pace keeper, and at the race that I was at, the Anchorage, Alaska, the Midnight Mayor's Sun Run, something like that. He was carrying these balloons, and he was the pace keeper for the finish time, right? So if he passed you, that means you weren't going to finish in time for your time to be considered official, okay? And so that was like one of my fears, like not finishing the race. And mile 22, I'm starting to like get really close to hitting that wall. My smile is not so big anymore. Yes, I did pause all along the race to take pictures, but I did end up hitting the wall. And you know, everyone here, you're probably all part of the challenge. If not, the wall is basically when you're running a race and you just stop running. You feel like you can't go on. Your legs turn to jello, and like it's a lot of stuff mental, but it's also physical. And so my mom had made me this little laminated card, and it said, "You can do it. I know you can. I can't be with you physically, but my spirit is running beside you. I admire your strength and determination." And I just pictured my brother and my mom running beside me on either side, and that gave me like the courage to keep going. And so when I got to the finish line, I sprinted, and somebody yelled, "Go North Carolina!" And so like I crossed the finish line, y'all. And guess what? I beat the 8.5 hour time. You know, I wasn't last, and I made it in under 8.5 hours. Now, I do have to say, this is another side note. My next marathon was 2 years later, and it was a 6.5 hour finish time. So I was super proud of that. Alaska versus Myrtle Beach. But yeah, this marathon changed my life because it gave me the confidence that I could do hard and scary things, that I could do anything in life. Okay. I could face my fears of whether it be, not talking to my brother, or not, running a marathon, or not starting writing my novel, or not revising your novel, whatever it is that you find kind of scary. Um, you can handle it. It's okay. You can do it. So, are you making the mistake of not taking action with your novel? Clearly, since y'all are here, I think you are action takers. So, right now, just put "I'm ready." If you feel like you're an action taker, say "I'm ready." Okay. Let me know. Um, yeah. So, Sally's sharing some scary things, hitting enter to submit on Amazon. Um, Emma says, "I put off publishing my nonfiction self-help book for 3 years after writing it." What if no one likes it? Yeah, yeah. These are all real fears, but you can face your fears. You can do hard and scary things. It's okay. So Ashley, Emma, Rebecca, you're all ready. Let's do it. So mistake number 3. Mistake number 3 is not giving your story the focus and attention it needs. And this is actually a 2-part kind of mistake, but we're going to talk a little bit about story versus writing. And super quickly, if you did not attend last night's masterclass, answer this question for me. Which one do you think is more important? Because if you've already attended, you know the answer already. Which is more important, story or writing? Let me know. I want to know. So I've got story and writing right here. If you think it's equally important, then just put both. Yes, they're both important. But if you think they're equally important, put both. If you think story, put story. If you think writing, put writing. So I have one person saying story. Good. Okay. The answer is story. That is the answer. So the story is slightly more important, but that's only I'm going to explain why, like right here. So let's see if my slides work properly. If I downloaded them right. Oh yes. Okay. So on one end of the spectrum, you have, and this is so hard to see. Make it a little bit bigger. Okay. In this quadrant number 2, personalized rejections. Okay. This is where you have a low quality of story, but a high quality of writing. you might be getting some personalized rejections, right? So, in the other end of the spectrum, you have a high quality of story, but it's a low quality of your writing. And so this is where you might be getting a request from an editor to revise and resubmit, also known as an R&R, okay? And then in this first quadrant, where it's a low quality of story and writing, that's where you're going to get all your standard rejections, okay? And yes, even if you have good quality on both, you're still going to get a few standard rejections just because it doesn't fit the publisher's needs at that time, okay? But they might give you some personalized, oh, this sounds great. Unfortunately, we're unable to publish, blah, 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 okay? So if it's really good on both counts, you're probably not going to get near as many standard rejections. Now, where are you in the publishing matrix? Even if you haven't started submitting, that's totally fine. Do you feel like you're in 1, 2, or 3? Drop that in the chat. Let me know. Do you feel like you're 1, 2, or 3? And while you're doing that, I'm going to attempt to let my dog in and get a sip of water. Here's your bone. Whew, he's wanting to play now. Okay, a 2. So Emma says a 2. All right, so let me tell you the fourth quadrant. When you have high quality on both story and writing, that's when you're going to get the offer of publication. That's where the magic happens. So would you like to publish your novel? Give me a heck yes. So Ashley says, never published before, but I have sent my story out to critiquers and doing the revising. That's awesome. Like, we all start there. And even after you're published, we all stay there and continue there. We have to continue critiquing and revising no matter what. Published or not, it doesn't matter. It's part of the process. Like Dale Earnhardt said about wrecking your car in like a race, it's just part of the process. It's just part of the race. It's just racing. That's what he says. It's just racing. All right. So part 2 of this is the 4 fundamentals of story. And so when you have character and conflict combined, you get tension. When you have conflict and plot, that creates pacing. The plot, when you introduce theme, gives your reader deeper meaning. And then theme and character combined starts to give the reader a memorable impact with your story. And my diagram here, if there was like a little circle to write in the very center, that would say story. And maybe if there was a circle around all 4 of them, that might be setting, okay? But these are the 4 fundamentals of story. They're all equally important, and they are all intertwined, okay? And Plot Like a Novelist does focus mostly on plot, but I do touch on some with theme and character and setting and definitely conflict. Definitely character and conflict is intertwined in the course. And speaking of the course, these 4 worksheets, brainstorm like a boss, think like a therapist, argue like an attorney, and bet like a poker player, are designed to help you develop these 4 fundamentals of story inside the course. And one student said that she found them very thought-provoking and helpful. So the next question, which of the 4 fundamentals of story do you find the most difficult? Even if you commented last night, if you're watching this again as, the encore, let me know. Do you find plot a little more tricky? Do you find conflict harder? Character development? A theme? Which one do you find the hardest? It doesn't really matter because we all have strengths and weaknesses, and it might be different for each story you write too. So in one story, you might struggle with character development, and another story, it might be plot. A different story, it might be conflict. It doesn't really matter, okay? But we all struggle with it from time to time. But here's the thing that you need to remember. When you focus on the plot, it will help you tell a better story. And Deb, I see that theme is it for you. Theme is actually one of, in my opinion, one of the air quotes here, easier ones to kind of fix, if you will, because you can layer it in sentences. The story's there, the character's there, the conflict is there. You can layer that theme in. Like, it's going to be inherent either way, right? But you can layer in extra things for theme easier than you can kind of do the other ones. So, mistake number 4. Mistake number 4 is writing and editing at the same time. This is like building a house and remodeling a room at the same time. You can't do it, okay? You just can't do it. Revision means to re-see. So remodeling, you have to have an existing thing in order to remodel it. But with your writing, again, same thing. Like, you have to have at least a first draft before you can start doing it. If you're doing it on the fly, that's just called writing. If you're revising and editing as you write, if it's just like little sentence things, that's just called writing. But if you're constantly pausing every paragraph, every page, every chapter, going back and rereading, like constantly, like enough to like your momentum is going to wane, okay? And we don't want that. So this is one of a really, really good quote by Robert Graves. There's no such thing as good writing, only good rewriting. So you got to learn how to revise. There's no great writing, only great rewriting. And my favorite one is, I'm not a very good writer, but I'm an excellent rewriter. Okay, Emma, all right. Okay. We got character, we got conflict and theme, all of it. Okay. So this picture represents, I was at a writing retreat, and I was sitting in a critique, like a little round table critique, and there was an agent who gave feedback on one of my stories, and she said that, well, I don't remember the exact words, but the essence was, it sucked. That's how I felt. So I think I actually did cry a little bit. It was kind of harsh feedback. But after I was like done moping, I decided, you know what, she's right, you know? And I had to get over my fear and decide to actually revise it, which is something that I had been kind of wanting to do anyways. So her harsh criticism didn't have to be that harsh, but it kind of gave me the permission, if you will. It's like, go ahead, face your fears, revise it, okay? And so I did. And I just have to peek at the next slide. I don't remember what the picture is of. Okay, I'm just going to go back because I got to finish this story. The thing is that after I revised not only that story, but several other stories, I was able to make some serious milestones, reach some serious milestones in my writing career. And I won a local contest, like a regional contest. I landed an agent. I got a book contract, which ultimately fell through. Yeah, all these things, okay? And none of it would have been possible without revision. Yes, I'm talking about my dogs. Okay, so this is the 5 stages of revision. So again, we're talking about a room in a house. And, you know, just like we talked about, you can't write and revise at the same time. Like, what's the point if you have, I'm just going to go back so that this will hit home a little bit better. If you notice the picture here, it's a bathroom, okay? And if you were writing and revising at the same time, what if you were like building the house and remodeling the bathroom at the same time? And you might end up with like really pretty tiling and a really awesome color scheme and like the perfect backsplash and just everything's amazing. But what if you forgot the plumbing? What if you forgot a door to get in the room? Like, it's pointless, okay? So that's kind of where I'm coming from here. Ooh. And one more. There we go. So your book as a whole is like a room in a house, okay? And this is the developmental editor. And then the next level is the furniture. So you kind of rearranging the furniture is like the content editor will help you rearrange chapters and paragraphs and make your story flow better. Then you have the decor, and that's your sentences, your sentence structure. That's what a line editor does. They look at every line and they will edit those sentences. And then the next level is cleaning. So this stage, like you're going to dust and vacuum and polish and everything to clean the room. That's what a copy editor does. They fix your grammar, your punctuation, your spelling. They point it out to you so you can fix it. And then the fifth stage of revision is basically a proofreader. They catch all the final mistakes that the copy editor missed, and it's kind of like lighting a candle in a room. I am going to beg my dog to take the dogs out. It's been... Take Harlan out, please. He has been so needy. I should reward him with a walk tomorrow. Beth, I'm so glad that you are finding this helpful, because the stages of revision, if you notice on the left-hand side, we have, I'm going to put a muzzle on you. The revision focuses on story. And the editing, when you're editing your story, that's more about the writing, okay? So you can play both of those things. And if you think about it, you know how I said like story is more important than writing? If you think about it, that's true not only in the case of getting a revise and resubmit, because editors know that it's easier to fix your writing than it is to the story. That's like the foundational level is the story. It's the harder one to fix. It takes more work and effort and time, okay? So 80% of novels are rejected because of poor structure. And that's basically code word for a bad plot. If you are joining us still, please take a moment and say hello if you haven't said hello yet. I am trying to get to the rest of my stats for this slide. And getting there. So I surveyed 200 writers at one point, and the number 2 challenge that most writers face is not knowing how to revise or working through the revision process. So in addition to this whole 80% of novels being rejected based on, poor story structure, which is plot, 90% of writers fail at the premise. 90% of novels are rejected on the first page. 98% of novels are rejected by the end of the first chapter because they can tell in one single chapter, that first chapter, editors are really good at their job. They edit. They do all the editing. But they know when a first chapter is working or not. And so they're able to quickly reject, the ones that don't tick all the spots, if you will. And plot is the foundation of a strong story. And, sorry, clicking things, y'all. Y'all are amazing, putting up with all my quirks, my quirkiness. Let me get to the next slide. Okay, so Andy, another student, she's written 3 novels, and she got sick and tired of revising them. But then she took Plot Like a Novelist, and she ended up liking the story enough that she's like, oh, you know what? I don't think I'm going to get sick of revising this, because she had a stronger plot. She had a good, strong foundation. She's like, this is going to be fun to revise now. Okay. So I want to know, are you ready to create a strong foundation for your story? If you are, put plot equals foundation in the comments. Let me know. I want to see that. So I'm just going to read. Emma says, I'm constantly revising the story as I'm writing, catching minor mistakes. See, that's what I'm talking about. These minor mistakes as you write. So long as you're not going back and stopping, like, let the momentum go. But to me, like, the minor things, that's just writing. That's just how you write. I know of some people who take it a whole step further, and I'm like, I don't know if I could do that. They don't do any, like, they don't fix anything. And I'm like, that sounds like pure torture to not fix a spelling mistake or a grammar mistake and you're just moving forward with a story. Like, I don't think I could do that. Like, my brain couldn't handle it. But yes, I see Plot Equals Foundation by my lovely friend, Facebook user here. Sorry, I don't know your name. And Plot Equals Foundation for Ashley and Beth. You know what? I bet if I get back here, I might be able to see your name. Ah! Stop. How am I doing this? It is who? Who is it? It is Lori. Lori's the Facebook user. I don't know why that's not working for you. And hello, Anne. Plot Equals Foundation. Okay. Deb. Yes. So mistake number 5. We are on our mistake number 5. Now this is the one I'm going to try to do a little bit differently because again, this is like an encore presentation / recap, etc. So if you guys missed the entire challenge, this is where I'm going to kind of pull it all together right here for you. But writing without a plot outline is mistake number 5. Even if you're a pantser, you're going to still have to like revisit plot at some point. But writing with a plot outline is faster and more efficient. Either way, it doesn't matter. You're still going to have to look at your plot, okay? And so I don't know if it's a 50-50 split between pantsers and plotters. I'm not going to start the whole debate with that right now, but let's talk about the definition of plot. So plot is basically what happens in your story. Plot is what happens. Welcome to the video. Welcome to the Get Your Story Straight Masterclass. If you're just joining us, please say hello in the chat. The marathon, we've talked about the stages. So let me just quickly name the 11 stages. He's playing with a bottle. You're cute and all, but you're loud. So we have pre-race life. That's the first stage. That's where they're going to go to bed soon. That's where I need. This is not cool, man. My daughter should have walked them today. She said they have been laying around the house like lazy bones all day long. I get home, I jump on the internet, and what did I do? This number. Oh my goodness. Just find me a dog emoji every time you hear my dog's bark. If you can forgive me for the dog barking, then just drop me a dog emoji every time, okay? Like, just give me some love. I need some love. Let me know that you can forgive this insanely interruptive dog behavior. Stage number 2. Thank you, Emma. Stage number 2 is the sign up. That's the first pivotal plot point. Stage number 3 is second thoughts. So that's where your character. Okay, let me just do it with a marathon. Okay, that's easier to explain because in the course I go through each of these in depth as how it applies to your novel. But second thoughts in a marathon, you're like, oh, who signed me up for this? I'm not doing this. Like, can I really do this? Even if you sign yourself up, you're like, can I really do this? Right? And then the gunshot, the race starts across the starting line. Then you have pit stops. So there's all the different conflict, the things that you can encounter in a race, heat, running out of water, getting injured, all the things. The halfway point, you reach that halfway, what's it called? A half marathon, duh. That you reach the half marathon point, and that's like the halfway point. The runner's high, you're like, oh, I'm almost there. I'm nearly there. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. And then you hit the wall, right? We already talked about that. Then trying to count here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stage number 9 is the final sprint. So you literally sprint to the finish line. Stage number 10 is the finish line. And then stage 11, that's the final one, is the after party. So you get some water, you get some snacks, you sit down and stretch, you meet up with friends and family, and yeah. So those are the 11 stages and how they apply to a marathon. So I've been giving examples with my book, Gleek, all throughout the challenge, and he wants to go to Snakes Alive camp, okay? And so let's just, I guess I'm going to do all 5 on this one slide. Okay, he wants to go to Snakes Alive camp. So the sign up is that I'm giving you 2 examples of the 5 main plot points. Just in case there's anyone here who has not heard it, I want you to be able to hear this and understand it. So the sign up for Gleek is when the school announces that the science fair is here and that the prize is going to be that they get to go to a week-long science summer camp of their choice. And so that's the sign up. The gunshot, and just know when you hear the 5 main plot points, sometimes you're like, well, that doesn't make sense. You just said this. Things happen in between here, people, okay? So the gunshot is when he forges his mom's signature and he turns in the permission form to enter the competition. The halfway point is when he finally gets someone to agree to help him. The wall, after all this hard work of creating his project, somebody comes along and destroys it. And then the finish line, he wins. He wins the competition. Okay, so that's the 5 plot points for that one. Now, we're going to also talk about Wonder Woman. Put WW in the chat if you have seen the movie. I'm curious. And I do like to give away spoilers. I'm so sorry, but it helps when you're plotting and talking about plotting. You got to know the end. Even think about this. Even when you write a synopsis to send to an editor or an agent, they have to know the ending. So you're going to give them the spoiler. So I'm glad y'all have seen the movie. It just helps when you're familiar with the story, I think. So Wonder Woman, the sign up. The sign up is when the airplane crashes into their island. Well, not the land, but on the water and the force field, right? So she sees this and it's like, oh, okay. So what are you going to do about it? That's like the sign up is like, the question is like, what are you going to do about it? You know, is it like the call to action, the inciting incident? So the call to action, are you going to answer the call? Are you going to do something about it? All right, the gunshot is when she does do something about it. She leaves with Trevor on the boat to go help end the war. The halfway point, they're in like no man's land. They're in the trenches and nobody can pass. They're stuck. She comes along and she like deflects all the ammunition and then everyone gets up and rises and like follows her and then they share a kiss. And so that's the halfway point. The wall is when the airplane that the bomber plane that Steve Trevor is flying, there's actually a bomb on the plane. And so to try and like save everyone, he flies it up so that it can explode and not harm anyone other than himself. And so Diane is distraught and she's like, I can't go on. And so the finish line, she helps end the war, okay? Again, there are in-between things you have to fill in the blanks. So, let me move. I can't see. Yeah, I have these 3 things inside the course. A marathon method plot diagram, the plot arc summary chart, and the plotting cheat sheet are all available to you inside the course. And these things will help you develop the full 11-stage plot outline and really hone in on these 5 main plot points. Because sometimes you think you have it right, maybe even you've written half of it, and 1 or 2 of the plot points just change or shift a little bit, and you're like, I really thought it was this, and come to find out it's something different instead, right? But people have said this is the best cheat sheet ever. So can you see how creating a plot outline will make writing your novel faster and easier? Just put yes, just a simple yes if you can see that. So what word comes to mind? I know some of you were given some amazing words last night. If you can envision having your full 11 stage plot outline done, complete, filled in, ready to go, how would that make you feel? What word comes to mind? Share with me. What is that word for you? We got commitment. Some people say, aha, The one I kind of love is finally. It's finally, I have this outline ready to go. That's my word. Publishable, relieved, amazing, satisfied, ready. That's a good one also. Ready. You feel ready. Yes. So here's the quick, big review of the main things we've talked about. So number one, you are a writer. Okay, you don't have to be published to call yourself a writer. Number two, you can do hard and scary things. Number three, number two, face your fears, right? Do it anyway. Do it scared. That's what they say, right? Number three, story is more important than writing, just slightly. And that kind of leads into the first few revisions are for fixing plot holes, because revision starts with plot, okay? And then number five is that plotting equals freedom, okay? You don't have to think, just because you wrote it down in a plot outline doesn't mean you have to 100% stick to it. You're the writer. You can change things as you need. And even you're going to change a lot of things even in multiple revisions after you're done. Hopefully, they will be easier revisions than be like, oh, well, none of this makes sense. I got to start over from scratch. And some people do that too. But again, creating a plot outline is the fastest and easiest way, to get there. Let's see where I'm at, y'all. So, like I mentioned earlier, there's a few big problems that we face as writers, and that is finishing your novel is a challenge, revising and editing, a huge challenge. The number one challenge, I think, is finishing your novel. The number two challenge is revising and editing. And the number three challenge wasn't necessarily specific to plot, but just craft in general. So all the craft, like how to write it, okay? So these are problems that we face as writers. The big question is how? How are we going to accomplish, tackling these challenges and not just let tonight's and last night's presentation be just, more notes that we've taken or whatever. So who here has resonated with the content today? Let me know. Just say I don't know, something. Say yes, or it's resonated for me, or tell me the part that you love the most, whatever, okay? But I do have a confession, because this is not for everyone. If you're not willing to do some work, this is not going to be for you. If you just want to dabble in your writing and be like, I just do it for funsies, then it's probably not for you. If you're not willing to take responsibility for your writing, it's not for you. And if the screen that I'm on, I can barely see. I don't know if I can make anything bigger. And I got one dog in my lap. Can y'all see him? This one is Prince. He's the slightly more well-behaved dog. He's also a little bit older, and he doesn't bark unless he's really got to go. And it's about that time. He probably does need to kind of go. I'll have to get my daughter to take him soon. But he's being good. I just can't use my arm. Somebody read this for me, seriously. Okay. I'm going to have to figure something out, because I can't see. Okay, all right. There we go. If you're completely happy staying in your current situation, then this ain't going to be for you, because you're not going to want to make any changes. Now, this is so frustrating. At least my dog's not barking anymore, so that's good. Moving to the next slide. On the other hand, and I know y'all are just sticking around because you want to know who's going to get in for free, right? Okay. But this program, it is for you if you're willing to commit to understanding plot. Okay. If you're willing to take your writing seriously, if you're willing to implement this step by step process, and if you're willing to take ownership of your own results. Okay. And whew, y'all can still hear me, right? Somebody just give me a quick thumbs up. I'm pretty sure y'all can still hear me. So clearly y'all know the name of the program is Plot Like a Novelist, right? And the reason I created this is because if you're anything like me, like I've struggled with plot a little bit in the past, right? I mean, I even went to school for creative writing, and 10 years later, I still didn't have plot all figured out. But once I had that novel and marathon epiphany, I knew I couldn't keep it to myself. And I knew that I could help other writers understand plot more. Just like it helped me, okay? And this course helps you understand plot, like all the different nuances that go along with it. And so the promise of the online course is to help you create a solid plot outline for your novel so that you can have more freedom and creativity with less revisions and rejections, whether you've already written your first draft or you haven't even started writing it yet. And so I'm just going to take you really quickly through the modules. And I named them, like not all books need a prologue and an epilogue, but that's kind of what I named them. So there's just 5 modules. They have videos along with some worksheets. And we have the prologue, the beginning, the middle, the end, and the epilogue. So in module 1, let me get to where I can see this because I have multiple screens going on. Module 1, 4 fundamentals of story. I talk about that. You'll learn how to apply them and like the intertwinings of it, and also all 11 stages of the plot diagram and how it really applies, like with the running. In module 2, the beginning, you'll discover the 4 stages to include in the first 25% of your novel and the 4 ways that every novel begins so that you can draw, actually it's 5, so that you can draw the reader into your story and have a solid foundation. In module 3, the middle, I do share all 9 different halfway points and how to raise the stakes in your story, okay? And it has conflict and stakes and more. In module 4, the end, you'll learn the 4 types of low points and the 7 types of endings. And you'll create the final 4 stages of your plot outline where your character achieves their goals and you finally, bring the reader to that satisfying ending. And the course ends with module 5, which is the epilogue. And this module helps set you up for success in the actual writing of your novel or revising, right? And so now that you've got this plot outline ready to go, we're going to set you up for success to keep the momentum going further. Now, let me get to the next slide. So after building this online course, I realized that some of you might have a few questions. You might be wondering, I've never done anything like this before. Will I be able to do it? And things are hard, right? Scary. You have fears like revising my manuscript and running that marathon, which is why I created this bonus, because the Writer Inspiration Kit is going to help you do those hard things and face your fears and give you some extra confidence and inspiration to keep going. And they're writing quotes from famous authors, and you can just pick your favorites and post them all around your house, your office, your car, wherever you want, the fridge, your computer, right? So they're fun, cute, printable quotes to help you keep going. So that's why I created that bonus. Bonus number 2 is the Facebook community. And you might be thinking, well, I feel like I can't do this alone. I can't outline my story alone. I can't write my story alone. I mean, clearly being a writer is a very solo type of job, a thing that we do, but you have to have community around you at some point level, okay? I mean, I understand the whole feeling of not being able to do it alone. I would never have run a marathon if I had done it all by myself. Same thing with my writing. I wouldn't have made it this far in my writing today without that community of other people who were able to like critique my stuff and all those kinds of things. But this thing of feeling like you can't go alone is why I created the private writing community inside of Facebook. And we provide community and inspiration, accountability, feedback, all kinds of things to help you continue that process. And then one of the biggest questions you might have will probably be something like, well, how do I know if I'm even doing this right? How do I know if the 5 main plot points were properly identified? Okay. How do I know? So, because that's really big in getting your plot outline created and to set you up for novel writing success. Yeah, I know that feeling. So that's the reason that I have a critique group, so I can get feedback from others to know if my stories are on the right track. And this bonus, the live group coaching, also will help give you that feedback, personalized feedback on your stories. No matter what story you're working on at the time, you can always come in and ask questions and get feedback on a page or a plot point you're struggling with, or just anything, any questions about the course, something you might not understand fully, and I also respond to, posts inside the group, similar to how I've done all week long in the challenge. And my student Karen said that her favorite thing about the course was the group coaching and all this personal feedback, because she was able to validate the 5 main plot points for her first novel and also gain clarification on the plot points for her sequel. Now, the total value of Plot Like a Novelist is listed out on this slide here. And when you implement the ideas and strategies inside the course, it's going to give you a complete plot outline so that you can confidently start, finish, or revise your novel. So just think about what that's going to give you in your life, and you'll be able to write your novel faster, easier, with more clarity and more enjoyment. So imagine, a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, however long it takes, right? 10 years from now, that your novel is finished, maybe even published, just imagine what that's going to feel like. Imagine receiving fan mail from your readers and thanking you for writing your book because it changed their lives, and a small advance of $10,000 is going to be pretty cool too. Also, normally to hire me as a developmental editor, which is typically, most novels typically run the average span of about 300 pages or 75,000 words. That costs $6,000. But Plot Like a Novelist is valued at $5,088, everything all combined, and what you get in it. But your price today is only $297. Back here. And this is just what some of our graduates have said about the program. Plot Like a Novelist helped me reach 38,000 words during the first 2 weeks of NaNoWriMo. Now, if you don't know what NaNoWriMo is, well, if you do know what NaNoWriMo is and you plan to participate in it or something this year, it's every November. It stands for National Novel Writing Month. Just put nano in the comments and let me know if you're doing nano or you know what nano is or you've heard of it or whatever. But the goal is to write 50,000 words towards a novel, okay, in a month. And that's like over 2,000 words to write every single day. Not 2,000. I think it's 1,666 words. So if you take 50,000 divided by 30, I think is 1,666. That's a lot of words to write every single day with no breaks. But 38,000 in the first 2 weeks, that's well over going to get you to that 50,000 mark. Kathy says I had a first draft before I started plan. Now that my outline is done, I'm ready to revise for my second draft. Vicky says, now I know how to get started. This is much more concrete than most books about plotting. And like I mentioned, the total value of the course is $5,088, and this kind of breaks it down as like what that looks like. But obviously, I don't expect you to pay that. But the total amount for you right now is only $297 plus $47 a month, and you get everything that I know okay? Even the people who hire me one-on-one do not get access to learn the knowledge that I'm providing inside the course. They just kind of get the end result. They don't get the knowledge. And the bonus number one is valued at $297. The course itself is $1497. Bonus number two is $497. The private Facebook community, and the group coaching is nearly $2,800. You put it all together, it's $5,088. Like I said, you only pay $297 plus $47 a month. And there's actually two different options though. Okay. And when you join the self-study course for $297, you get access to the full course. You can go at your own pace. You will be able to create the full 11-stage plot outline. And there's also a 3-pay payment plan available for both options, okay? So $297 split up for 3 different payments, and that is available on both options, okay? So option number one is the self-study course only. Option number two is the guided study. You get the course as well, but you also get ongoing support in the form of personal coaching, okay? And let me show you what this looks like as you kind of break it down. So the guided study not only gets everything that you get in the self-study for the same price, you also get all future course updates. Self-study, you don't get any updates. You get personal feedback from me. You get access to our knowledge library, which is like interviews with published authors. You get all 3 bonuses. The self-study, you don't get any of those bonuses. So the guided study, you get the writer inspiration kit to help you stay motivated and continue no matter where you are in your house. You're going to be reminded to like work on your novel. Bonus number 2 is the private members only community Facebook group. So where you'll get the opportunity to get feedback from each other and just like shout outs to like keep going, more inspiration, but also accountability. And then bonus 3 is the group coaching with personal feedback. And this is honestly the one most people are like, yes, that's what I really, really, really want. You also get 1 month of free coaching. The $47 payment starts a month later. Okay. So you get 1 month of free coaching to test it out. Let us know, give it a go and how you like it. So it's ongoing live support. Basically, that's access to the membership, okay? You can get member critiques from each other. We have every week 1 hour, just 1 hour a week. You don't have to show up, but it's always available and for you to like come and partake of, right? So there's a monthly craft workshop where I teach other things like a setting and character and theme and conflict, and I do publishing, and sometimes we're talking about social media. So just different things is throughout, like craft workshops, and then monthly Q&A sessions. So if you have a question about your query letter, or your pitch, you can bring your questions anytime, no matter what. Write-in nights, that's more about the accountability, and we have a lot of fun in there, and we get a lot of words written. And then the monthly coaching calls, and that's where you can get feedback on your 5 main plot points, coached on anything that you're writing, and get some feedback and insight about it. So those are the 2 differences. But I also want to let you know that I do have this 30-day run with your writing challenge, because I want you to be able to feel really, really comfortable to join the program, okay? So I'm giving you my 30-day guarantee, and some of you might be thinking, yeah, this is really, really good. I can see that it would work, but you're like, oh, but would it work for me, right? That's always the question we ask. So that's why I'm giving you this 30-day money-back guarantees to take away that fear, right? We talked about facing our fears. If this is a fear, face it. It's okay. 30 days, no worries. Don't even think about it, right? So that you can make a decision today and move forward with confidence, okay? So basically, it looks like this. If you do the work and you show me that you've made 0 progress on your novel outline, then we'll just give you a refund. You got to do the work, right? So let me get to the next slide. Okay. So this is just a really quick review of what you get to show you everything you get when you join the guided study course plus coaching option today. This is what you get in the guided study. You get the full Plot Like a Novelist course with all 5 modules, valued at $14.97 to help you create that full 11-stage plot outline. You get the bonus with the inspiration kit, bonus 2, the Facebook community, bonus 3, the group coaching calls, and the total value of the guided study option is $5,088. But again, you only pay $297 plus $47 a month, which starts a month later, okay? So whether you're just starting out and you need to finish the first draft, or you're working on the 3rd revision, Plot Like a Novelist makes it easy to get your story straight, and it's super easy to get started. I'm gonna try my best. We're just gonna move into question mode. So if you guys have any questions about anything in tonight's presentation, any questions about the course, any questions to wrap up anything from the challenge this week, let me know, drop them in the chat, and we will get those answered for you right away. And I do want to remind you of 2 things. Yes, we are going to be giving away 1 free seat tonight. And yes, there's a fast action bonus. So anyone who joins tonight, let me think about this. Okay, anyone who joins tonight, the guided study, they are going to get the fast action bonus of the 3-step submission system. That is the query letter, which includes how to do your pitch. It is the synopsis, okay? Like it's a 1 to 2 page synopsis. You need that to submit. And then the marketing plan, the promo, okay? And that's going to help set you up for success when marketing comes around. It's the exact same template that I use for mine. So I see Beth, Emma, and Deb. Let's see, all 3 are doing the whole nano thing, or at least know what it's about. So that's pretty awesome. And I didn't go to the next slide, y'all, but that's your questions. Let me know if you have any questions. So just that reminder that you do have that fast action bonus coming tonight. The deadline's tonight, okay, to get the fast action, the 3-step submission system. And give me just a quick second here. Oh, is that even going to work? Yeah, as y'all type some questions in, like go ahead and give me some questions. I have like 3 questions that people ask me a lot, and I can answer those if you want, but I do want to know if anyone has any questions, okay? I'm just copying the link so that you can go and check out the course, okay? That's the Plot Like a Novelist course. That's the link there for you. So go check it out. Hopefully it's showing up. I don't know if it is showing in the group, okay? But it's on the YouTube one, it's on the Facebook page one, I believe. But I wonder, I can show that. Let me do it here. I'll show it here. There we go. So there's the link on the screen. You can also type it up as well. So Nano, a few years. Sorry, late response. Yeah, that's fine. Totally fine. Okay, so I don't see any questions coming in. I'll just answer like the top 3 questions that I typically get. There's also a frequently asked questions section on that page about the course. So you can learn more about the course. But let me... Okay, I'm going to choose a winner here in just a minute. Let me scroll to the... Will this make sense if I'm not a runner? Yes, it will make sense, okay? One of my students, Sharon, she said at first it bothered her that I used the running analogies, but she's like, after I got over it and kind of got used to it, she's like, it's really good information. And she's like, glad she has that in her grab bag of tricks, if you will, even though she's not a runner. Will this work if I'm writing memoir? So yes, I did design it specifically for novels, but memoir does take this whole storytelling element. Like there's narrative fiction, like narrative storytelling, even in memoir. And so it can help you with trying to come up with a story arc to make it make sense to your readers a little bit better. Okay. And then the third question is, can I be too beginner or too advanced for this? And obviously the answer is no. Because the method that I use, the marathon method plotting, right, that I teach inside the course, it works regardless of experience. So even if you're just starting out and you'll create your plot outline to guide you as like you continue to write it. If you're working on revision, it's going to help you look for those plot holes and ensure that your story has like proper pacing. I even have a student in there who is previously published. He has published books out there and he's gotten a lot of great value. He still comes to the coaching calls out of like, because of the plotting methods that I teach inside the course. So regardless of previous publication success, you can't really be too beginner or too advanced. Okay, maybe you can be slightly too advanced. Like if you're Harry Potter status, J.K. Rowling, fine. So see some congratulations going on here. Last nano, I trashed 14,000 words, and then a week later turned out 50K before the end of the month. Oh my goodness! Wow. So yeah, that's pretty amazing. To you basically wrote 64,000 words that month. That's awesome. Okay, so let us have a big drum roll. Find me some drum roll emojis. Put them in the chat if you are excited to find out if you will be the winner of the grand prize, a free seat into the Plot Like a Novelist course. Now, I will say this. You will be winning the self-study, but you can have the option, if you want to upgrade to the guided study, you can, okay? You can. So, Emma's got some drum rolls. Beth has a drum roll going on. That's good. That's good. Let me actually stop sharing that, and I'll just bring me on full screen. And let's see if I can see this just a tiny bit bigger. Okay. Now, y'all just gonna have to trust me. Hopefully y'all have less left. How about this? I know that drum roll. It's a long drum roll, y'all. Put your names. Type your name in the chat right now. Even because some of you don't show your name and some of you do. There's 8 people watching, so this is between 8 people. Okay. I need to know who's here watching, who wants this. If you want it, put your name in there. Put your name in, and I'm going to assign numbers. So I'm gonna rip up a piece of paper and like eight numbers. Like I'm literally gonna pull these out of a hat. So, or draw it out of a bowl or whatever, right? So, and I'm just gonna say, let's see if we have everyone's names here. We got Ashley is gonna be number 1, Lori is number 2, Beth is number 3, Anne is number 4, Emily is number 5. There are 2 people left that we have not accounted for. If y'all are just watching out of curiosity, that's fine. But if you want to win, hurry up and drop your name in the chat. 3, 4, 5. So now it's just between 5 people, unless I get any more names coming in. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So instead of like scrolling and doing my closing my eyes thing, I've got, look, let me show you. There's 1. There's 2. We got lots of drum rolls, right? I know the anticipation is killing y'all. 3, 4, upside down, and 5. Okay, so there's 5 little things. We find, what can I use? What can I use? What can I use? Ooh, I know. I'm getting super resourceful, y'all. Okay. Ooh, new comments. Do I have number 6? Oh, Sally. Okay. Sally's going to be number 6. Let me write it down. If anyone else, seems like there's 7 people watching. If number 7 human wants to win, put your name in there. Oh, Deb. Okay. Emma was first in the chat. Let me see. I think I got Emma. Oh. Emma. Okay. Well, the numbers are fine. Like, let me just renumber these, y'all. Okay, so Emma is number 1. Okay, so that's there. Ashley is number 2. Oh, okay, the resourceful thing. I'm getting distracted. You see this dog? He is in my lap sniffing. That's because I pulled this empty teriyaki bag out of the trash. He's dying to get his nose inside of this. Okay, so I'm just going to drop these in here. Oh, we got 8 people. Somebody jump back on. Okay, I'm going to put 7 and 8. Okay, we might have 8 people. Okay, we've got all 8, okay, in here. I'm just going to shake it up like this. But let me make sure. Okay, make sure we've got all these people assigned, because when I pull the number out, we all want to be clear as which person it relates to, okay? So, oh, my goodness. Yes, I know. It's so hard. Okay. The dog. I can throw him in the air and see which one he steps on. Okay. Emma's number 1. Ashley's number 2. Lori is number 3. Beth is number 4. Anne is number 5. Emily is number 6. Deb is number 7. And Sally is number 8. Okay? Did we get everyone? Everyone good? Do we have a... Let me know. I know there's a little bit of a... Am I saying this right? Emma, Deb, Ashley, Lori, Beth, Anne. It's number 6. Emily's number 7. Deb's number 8. Sally's number 9. How is that possible? There's only 8 people watching. How we got 9 names in there? New comments. Take mine out. I don't have time to commit, Sally says. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. let me do this again, y'all. Okay. I promise this was the last time. I'm gonna figure this out. Hold up. I got this. Okay. 1. Emma. 2. I'm putting it in the comments. 2. Ashley. 3. Lori. 4. Beth. Okay. 5. Anne. 6. Emily. 7. Deb. And is that everyone? I think so. So Sally said take hers out. So there's 7 people. Okay, so there's the numbers. Okay, here we go. I should probably take number 8 out so I don't draw it. Okay, 8's out. Okay. Turn it around. I can't see the numbers. Ooh, y'all. Oh, no, you can't see the numbers either. But I can't. The anticipation. Oh, I have no idea who's it going to be. Number 3. That's Lori. You are the winner. Okay. Okay. So congratulations. Thank you all for staying on this long. Thank you so much. And I'm just going to Well, yeah, let's do some congratulations, y'all. And again, remember that fast action bonus tonight. But I hope you guys had a wonderful time, that it wasn't super boring hearing it twice for those of you who came twice, that you enjoyed my puppers. And yes, congratulations. So I'm going to let y'all go. It's been a long time. We've been on here a long time. I'm going to put my dogs to bed and eat me some dinner myself. And I'll see you guys around. And just in case you haven't yet posted on day 5, make sure you go ahead and do that. And all right, thanks a